What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm TheJoshElkin, and today I'm making a beef Wellington pizza. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay's not gonna like this one. Let's get on with the recipe. As you guys know by now, I use full meals as flavors. And in this case, I'm using the flavor of beef Wellington to make a beef Wellington inspired pizza. If you've ever had a beef Wellington before, you know that one of the most flavorful things that goes into it is the mushroom duxelle. And the first step to making the mushroom duxelle is running the mushrooms through the food processor. The idea is to get them down to a uniform size and cook them down in some olive oil and butter before adding a few other ingredients. After the mushrooms have cooked down a little bit and sort of reduced in size, I'm gonna push them to the perimeter of the pan and use the middle to cook the shallots. Once the shallots become soft and somewhat translucent, that's when I'm gonna mix everything together. You guys can't see this, but this is on a medium heat. I don't wanna burn the mushrooms, nor do I wanna burn the shallots. But at this point, it's time to add my favorite herb, thyme. If you've made a beef Wellington before, you know that the duxelle kind of goes in between the prosciutto and the steak. Now, I'm not doing that. This is gonna go on top of the pizza, kind of like a condiment. But in terms of following the specific layers of a beef Wellington, I'm definitely doing that. It's gonna go phyllo dough, prosciutto, duxelle, meat. Now, before you get on me about that not being the authentic meat or cut of meat for a beef Wellington, guys, how many times I gotta tell you? This has nothing to do with tradition. I'm making a pizza, for crying out loud. This cut of steak is a filet mignon. It's pretty lean, it's got no bones, and it's gonna serve perfectly to go on top of this pizza. Now, all I'm trying to do is sear both sides. I'm doing one side for roughly 4 minutes and the other side for 2 to 3 minutes, because ultimately this is going back in the oven to finish it off. Just to make this pizza anatomically correct, I'm gonna cut a circle around a sheet of puff pastry. I could easily just make a square pizza, but I was thinking, you know what, if I'm going this far, I might as well go a little further. To ensure the puff pastry crisps up and gets a nice golden brown, I'm gonna slather it in some egg wash. Nothing fancy here, just a beaten egg. And for the sauce, a little honey mustard. Once the puff pastry is par cooked, it's time to pull it out of the oven and start building this pie. After the steak has rested and the juices of the meat have redistributed, just slice it thin. And now we have all the ingredients to make this pizza: the mushroom duxelle, the sliced steak, the half-cooked puff pastry, and some prosciutto. The first layer on top of the puff pastry is an even distribution of the honey Dijon mustard. On top of that, cover the entire base in some prosciutto, and on top of the prosciutto, an even layer of the mushroom duxelle. And here comes the steak. Now, you can use any pattern you want. The key is to just make sure that it's completely covered so that any type of wedge that's cut out will get every ingredient in every bite. At this point, the pizza goes back in the oven just to fully cook the steak and continue to cook the puff pastry. I'm gonna chop up some parsley for some garnish and then hit it with some honey Dijon. Beef Wellington is typically a piece of steak cooked, wrapped in prosciutto, wrapped in puff pastry, sliced open, and eaten on a plate. This pizza is none of that, but also sort of all of it, okay? Instead of pizza dough, I use puff pastry. On top of that puff pastry, I added my own version of a honey Dijon sauce with some prosciutto, a mushroom duxelle, topped it with perfectly cooked steak, topped that with more of the honey Dijon sauce, and garnished it with parsley. If any of you watching this video have ever tasted a beef Wellington, you're familiar with that beautifully awesome thyme, mushroom, onion flavor. All of those things is what you get on this pizza. This is not only my recipe, it's my pizza too. And I'm gonna eat it and love it. I hope you guys get to eat it and love it too. And if you want the recipe, it's in the description down below, or you can just hit up RecipeChampions.com, which is the website that all my recipes live on, including this beef Wellington pizza. Bye.